What's up, everybody? Chris Flick here. This week I started a new endeavor. This endeavor had me a little bit nervous, had me a little bit anxious. It's something that I'm not used to doing. That is being a physical education teacher at my daughter's school. Now, this is a school that goes from preschool to 8th grade. It was my job to go in there every Wednesday to encourage physical activity, to teach these kids. Basically, how I'm approaching this is we're looking at the ABCs of physical literacy: agility, balance, coordination. And then the S's, I'm going to kind of square that and put strength and speed in there. We're going to try to lump all 5 of those things into a 30-minute session. Now, I had to keep in mind, I had first graders and I was going to have middle school kids, right? First graders and 8th graders. So we had to be able to effectively put a workout together for these kids in a space that I never was really in, a space that I'm not comfortable with, any of that stuff. So I started thinking about what variables can I control. Not a whole lot. I could over-prepare, which is what I did. I went in with a bunch of drills, right? And I took my equipment in because I'm like, I'm going to take my stuff so that I know I could set it up in a way that I've done previously and not have to worry about figuring out what the school has to offer, right? That was another thing I tried to control. And the last thing that I wanted to do here is that with each session, I had to look at it as if it was like a practice, right? So if you're new to coaching sports, you're at a new school, I think these 4 questions that we're going to go over here are questions that you're going to be able to use and to kind of put you on the fast track to get yourself comfortable with working with the kids that you're working with. Now, for each group yesterday, I had 5 classes. Remember this, all right? First grade to 8th grade. I wanted to know, did I accomplish my objective? And on day 1, my objective was to offer an exciting and encouragement environment and have some fun. I had to build rapport with these kids. I had to let these kids know I'm on their side, right? We're gonna have some fun in here. I'm gonna ask you to work for me, but I know I can't ask you for work unless I connect with you, right? So it was about connection and it was about having fun. Did we accomplish that yesterday? I think I did. The next thing was the exercise. Was the workout appropriate and was it organized? A lot of times, if we're coaching a sport or we're working in a small setting with a bunch of kids, right, we need to have some structure. And if there's no structure, then, the wheels kind of fall off, so to speak, right, and mayhem ensues. And was it appropriate for each age group that I was working with? I was going to make sure that I wasn't going to ask the 8th graders to do everything the first graders did, and then vice versa. I wasn't going to ask the first graders to do what the 8th graders were going to do. Everything had to be developmentally appropriate for each grade. And then from there, you're going to have a diversity that you get at schools, right? Where some kids are going to be super athletic and some kids are not going to want to participate, right? So you had to make sure things were developmentally appropriate for each of those little subcategories off of each grade. Number 3, did the kids have a great time and did they train hard? Those are 2 awesome components. We talked about the benefits of joy and how do we keep kids excited in sport. And it's not just all fun and games. We want them to train hard too. We want them to practice in a way that's going to get them better over time. So that is question number 3. Did they have fun and did they work hard? Lastly, number 4, did we talk about what our values were and those values that will eventually drive performance, right? That's kind of the athletic side of things. For me, working with this diverse group, the values that we were going to talk about is we were going to talk about practice and working towards something. Let's not put a lot of pressure on ourselves today to be a master at this, say, basic ladder drill, right? I want you to practice it today, and you might only be 50% good at it, but next week I want you to be 55, and then 60, and then 65. Those are the values we're trying to encourage. We're trying to encourage a mindset that values practice, and if we value that, then our performance will improve, okay? So if we could have that kind of outlook on life, we're gonna be successful in all areas. So if you're new to coaching, or if you're somebody that was just put in a new environment, I started coaching at different schools, right, where I had no idea who these kids were. I didn't have these 4 questions at the time. I just kind of looked into this recently. This is a way that we could, after each session, after each practice, you ask yourself these questions, you write it down, and then for your next session, you're able to improve upon it, all right? And the sooner you could clean up some of these areas, I think that the better connected you're gonna be with your team, your organization, your school, and the better connected you are with them, the better output you will get from them, all right? Hope you guys like this one. Peace, everybody.